Access, an inside look at what it takes to operate Iowa's largest entertainment and convention facilities. This is Iowa Events Center All Access from Iowa Everywhere.
And hello, pilot episode, bringing you guys something new here on Iowa Everywhere. Fired up to do that, and I get to do it with a couple of my old buddies, Adam Flack and Chris Connolly from the Iowa Event Center. Saw it in the rundown, All Access, Iowa Event Center here on Iowa Everywhere, where this is going to be a little bit of a different show where what you hear today probably isn't exactly what it's going to be like in a month. We're going to do all sorts of different things from an entertainment standpoint in the city of Des Moines here on this program, and I'm happy to bring it to you. First of all, Chris Connolly, we've been kind of doing this a long time together. For like 10 years, you would come in on my radio show, and we would kind of preview what's to come, and I'm excited to give you guys your own podcast and bring it on here and with Iowa Everywhere. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Chris, and thanks for giving us this opportunity. Like you said, we've been talking for about 10 years now, and it's been a lot of fun. And, hopefully, through this outlet, we can dig even deeper, and what we're doing behind the scenes and all that good stuff. So definitely excited to be back with you.
A guy I always get great insight from is Adam Flack, and now he's got his own show. This is terrifying for everybody. Hey, Adam, how are you, my friend?
Great, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being on here, guys. You guys have done a lot of great things for the city of Des Moines. I should mention Adam's the director of marketing at Iowa Event Center. Of course, Chris is the general manager at Iowa Event Center. All right, before we get into some of the entertainment stuff, the Iowa Wolves they tip off their season coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, and we also just found out, Chris, that Luka Garza is going to be here, the former Iowa Hawkeye National Player of the Year. That's a big deal, not only because you feel like people are, college games started up this week. Drake had its first game last night. But, man, it brings something different to the Wolves when they have those local guys. Garza's still a huge name in our state.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's big news for us. I mean, Luka was he's player of the year, right, for the Hawkeyes in college, and had such a great career here locally. And then to get him back, I mean, just him playing in a number of games here for the Iowa Wolves last year gave the Wolves such a boost. More people in attendance, just a better energy, right? So hearing that he's going to come down and play this weekend is pretty cool. We expect good crowds. It's their opening weekend. It's Veterans Day weekend, right? So we have a lot of stuff going on, including tomorrow night, Friday night, Luka Garza bobblehead night. So a lot of cool tie-ins. And, not only that, too, Luka's a great player. When he comes down and plays for the Wolves, he usually plays very well, and the team does well. So just excited to have him back in Des Moines this weekend.
Yeah, I think, too, I can't stress it enough, Adam, how good of basketball that is. A lot of people think, G League, I don't know all the players. I promise you, if you just go, you're blown away by it. And you and me are college guys, Adam. Right. We're like the Cyclones. I sit courtside at Iowa State games. I watch the Big 12 up close for a living. It's not even close to what you guys have during the season with the Wolves at Iowa.
It's completely different. Yeah, it's a different product altogether. The pep band is not there. It's more piped in music. It's action going on while the game's going on. So the promos at every stoppage, the athleticism of all these players is pretty incredible. So you get a guy like DJ Carton with the Wolves, who was here last year and is back this year as well. Iowa high school kid from the eastern part of the state and back playing professional basketball. And you never know who you're going to see. I think the Wolves say all the time that, the percentage of players that play in the G League and then go up to the NBA is increasing every year.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's a sport I would still buy my stock in right now as far as the NBA goes with the demographics, and you look across the country and just the growth there. Let's get into some of this entertainment stuff. Now, Connolly, you gave me tickets a few years back to a Shania Twain concert. And because I'm a big country music guy, and I had the time of my life. I thought it was one of the best shows as far as just the theatrics go that I've ever seen. Kind of comparable to Garth Brooks, when he'd run around and jump around. You just had her in town. What in the heck? Like, how long does it take to get the place ready for a show like that? I feel like that one's maybe a little bit bigger than when George Strait comes and he's just, spinning around on his little thing. But I heard a lot of great reviews, and ever since she started touring again, man, people feels like they're really going out to see her.
Yeah, it was amazing. So she was just here November 3rd, right? Ended up having over 13,000 people in the building. Chris, as you mentioned, I mean, it's hard to believe that she's actually 58, right? Like
shocking.
She took a little bit of a break from touring, but she's an icon and a legend. And I think every time Des Moines gets a tour like that, we feel fortunate and we embrace it. And, look, we're selling tickets. Over 13,000 people through the doors. She put on an incredible show, right? And I think that's how we continue to get these types of acts coming through Des Moines. They know that we'll sell some tickets and we'll treat them right. And it was a great night on a Friday night, right? Like, again, and who knows, at 58, how much longer she'll be touring. So I think people kind of get that in the back of their mind that this could be one of the last chances. But, to be honest with you, in terms of getting set up and the rest of it, although it is a big tour and it's a big production, we don't have any additional time really to get her going. It's really starting first thing in the morning with setting up the sound and lights and the rest of the building. And not only that too, just doing a lot of prep work. That's the first time in a while. Usually our summers are a little slower in the arena. So that's the biggest show that we've had in a couple months. So really our food and beverage team preparing, making sure we have enough points of sale. We sold a few beers, making sure that we're able to handle 13,000 people through the doors. But no, look, our team did a great job again. Live Nation, who's the promoter, nationally, renowned promoter, they were really, really happy with the night. The fans that came in had a great time. Kind of a bonus that it was on a Friday night. And look, we don't take any of that for granted. It really, really was a good night and a good show.
Feels like Shania Twain is one of those artists that can tie generations together. Like my mom, I'm sure when I was a kid, like Shania Twain, I was at the age where she was big. And then Flack, like my daughter, my wife and I were talking about Shania Twain. We played some, and like my daughter was just like, "Oh my God, this is fantastic!" Like she seems like one of those who, even if she is touring in like 10 years, like a Neil Diamond type, that like everybody likes to see her.
Yeah, well, you see it as you're walking the concourse. It's mothers and daughters. It's three generations, walking the concourse and going to get their seats, and it's ladies' night out. I mean, a show like that where you're anticipating that many women, you transform some of the men's restrooms into women's restrooms to accommodate it. I mean, she's that type of artist where it's a big female crowd and young. Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know that you guys did that. That's interesting.
Once in a while, yeah, whether it's a male heavy dominated show or female, we will switch some of the restrooms around just to accommodate the fans that are there. And you get the feedback from other venues that have hosted the show leading up to it to see what percentage of your audience is male versus female and figure that out. But yeah, amazingly enough, that show was on sale for almost a year. So, typically you might have 2 or 3 months. This one went on sale almost a year before she actually attended. So people had their tickets for a long time leading up to it. So a lot of anticipation.
Chris, when you're booking that, how much consideration do you put in with the fact that, she was here 4 years ago? Or how do you do that?
That's a great question. And honestly, Adam and the marketing team are always part of this. We're always looking at when was the artist here last? How did it perform? When was the artist in the market last, right? Like we have so many big festivals, and then you throw in the Iowa Speedway and the acts out there and the State Fair. We look at all that stuff. So it's super important. And sometimes if an artist is in the market too much or they've been here recently, sometimes we take a pass and we'll wait because we want to make sure that we can do it right and we can sell enough tickets and make it worth it. This one, with Shania is super interesting. Adam's right. It had been on sale for over a year. Chris, I can't tell you how many calls went back and forth where we thought we had her. We're like, great. Then it kind of went away and it came back again. It was nuts. I think I got a call on a Tuesday night around 8:00 at night saying, hey, we got the show. And we had about a week to prepare to put it up on sale and announce it and all that good stuff. So it's pretty cool. I mean, as you know, in the Midwest, there's so many good venues, right? Like there's a lot of competition. And I don't know, again, to get a show like this, we feel honored. And it's like we have to produce too. And we feel like we have.
All right. So I got to admit, I've never been to a comedy show in a big venue like this. I've been to like I saw Jerry Seinfeld at the Civic Center once, that type of stuff. You guys have and this blew me away when you announced that Adam Sandler was coming, because Adam Sandler in my age group, I'm 39, like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, he was the man when I was growing up, and he's coming to town Monday night, right? Yeah, that's Monday night. I know that tickets are still available at HiVTix.com. But Adam, what do you expect? If you're a fan, you want to go to this, what do you expect from a comedy show in a venue like that?
Yeah, well, don't expect Happy Gilmore. Don't expect Billy Madison. I mean, this is a true traditional, comedy show. Some of his other shows, he might have a band with him and do some fun, different things. He's been touring for a while now. It is suggested as 16 plus because it is more of an adult comedy show versus what you see with some of the movies. But it's almost sold out. We've got a few tickets available, so it's going to be another full house. Everybody's excited to see this show. We've done comedians in this space before, whether it be Dane Cook or Joe Rogan or Jim Gaffigan. So we do quite a bit of comedy, but nothing that we've seen take hold like Adam Sandler with ticket sales.
Where is he at in your experience, Connolly, as far as like the iconic comedian? I got to feel like there's maybe like 5 to 10 he would be on it, right?
As far as I'm concerned, he is. And man, you talk about each artist and each show being different. Like Adam, would we put this on sale in September, right? Like we've only had a couple months.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround.
So, I mean, that's amazing. And then obviously a lot of competition to get Sandler in your building because it is unique. And I don't know what to expect. I can't wait for Monday night. I mean, we're going to have a full house and have an artist like that. I would say it's towards the top, Chris. And, for us, again, to be on this route, to get this artist, to get this thing as late as September, for a show in November, it's a big deal. So I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's pretty cool.
He is an artist. He was just in our building in Idaho last week, and everything I've heard from that show was really good. So
yeah, does he like sing and stuff, like the old Saturday Night Live stuff? I mean, not the same bits, but like he can play a guitar. He can. I'm assuming that he's not like just your stand up and whip the mic around guy.
Yeah, I would expect all of it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm fired up for you guys that when you got that one. Is there any difference, I guess, when you prep for a comedian? Is it easier? Is it more like they don't have like a big of a stage and stuff like that? What behind the scenes on that, Connolly? What is that like?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not nearly as much production, right? You're not talking about a full band and all these extra people on the stage. It's a lot of times it's a comedian out there with some sound and him just talking to the crowd or her talking to the crowd. It is a lot easier, just an easier set. A lot of times when it's a comedian, your sight lines are better and capacity is a little bit bigger than like a normal 180 show. So, as Adam mentioned, we're over 13,000 paid. We're not sold out yet, but we're getting close. But yeah, I mean, it is a little simpler in terms of setup for, our stagehands and operations crew and that. But again, for everyone else, it's just as big a show, again, when you have 13,000 people coming through the doors.
We're going to be doing some events together, or not events, but promotions together. We're going to give away some tickets. One of them coming up is Old Dominion with Chase Rice. Now, you got a little bit of time for this one. Oh, actually, it's under a month, believe it or not. Wow, time flies. I feel like I just read your press release on that one. That is December the 7th, a Thursday night. You can buy tickets at HiVTix.com, or you can win a pair of tickets and also an overnight stay in a hotel and $100 in food and drink from Jethro's if you go to iowaeverywhere.com right now. We will also send out that link on all of our social media feeds. We'll give a big-time giveaway there with you guys. Here's what's funny, and I'm a different type of country music listener, Flack. You know this. But I know Chase Rice really well. I don't know Old Dominion that well. I know that they're really popular. Chase Rice is a guy I've been listening to for like 10 years when he was like in the underground. This is a great show.
It is a great show. Country does it right. They package artists together. Maybe, like you just said, one of the artists, but maybe not the other. And so you want to come see your favorite artist or somebody that you're familiar with, and you get introduced to new artists all the time. So I think, of all genres that we do, country does it really well, where they're going to put a good package together and then just, have a lot of fun with it.
So this is also the time of year that I always get suckered into coming to Wells Fargo Arena. I'm sorry, not trying to be rude, but the Disney on Ice. I got two little princess. So here's the thing, Connolly. When you go to Disney on Ice, it's a whole event. You've got to go out to eat. You get there, and they've got all the, oh man, I got to get the Elsa doll. Oh wow, look, it's Trolls. I got to go and grab that. This is one of the biggest. I would say, like, in one weekend. Am I wrong? The 23rd through the 26th. So it's Thanksgiving weekend. Won't you bring in as many people? This is like state wrestling type of the amount of people through the doors, right?
It's unreal. It's one of our best events every single year. Look, I've been in a lot of different venues, right? And for us to have Disney on Ice over Thanksgiving week, we know it's there. It's like a tradition that goes back to the Vets days, right?
Yeah.
And then you add on top of that Disney and the quality of show and the rest of it. Besides it being a tradition, it really is a great show. So now, Chris, you're right. I mean, we go from Thanksgiving night through that weekend on Sunday, 9 shows from Thursday through Sunday. And, it's incredible. It really is. And I think Adam would agree. I mean, we feel spoiled to have it on that same time every single year over the holiday. It really is a great show for us.
Yeah, it's tradition here. I mean, I went to this show with my family growing up. We would always come the Wednesday night when we opened on Wednesday nights. And now to be here since the building opened, we've done it since 2005 here at Wells Fargo Arena. Now it's my kids' turn. My older kids are a little upset that they're coming, but the little one is excited for it. So yeah, it's something that you talk to people, especially that first night, Thursday, Friday. They're coming year after year. It's a family tradition for a lot of people.
Oh, my kids are amped up for this. Like in fact, I'm missing out this year because I'm going to be with Iowa State men's basketball in Orlando. So the wife's I won't have the luxury of being at Wells Fargo Arena for Disney on Ice, but they like remember it that, hey, it's Thanksgiving time. It's time to go to Wells Fargo for Disney on Ice. And it's like programmed into their brains, but that's cool. How, like, Connolly, since you've been here, are the tickets steady with that every year?
They are, and I think Adam would agree. I mean, since COVID hit, right, and we got restricted there for a little period of time, Disney on Ice is always a good seller. It's always a good show. It's a big event for us. The other cool feature that we didn't even mention is Festival of Trees that happens in the convention center at that same time. I mean, look, you can come in and park and you can hit both, right? Disney on Ice and Festival of Trees. But what I would say, I mean, since we've kind of gotten away and out of COVID, our ticket sales have been through the roof. And the last couple of years have been record breakers. And this year is going in that same direction. It's been awesome.
Well, it feels like, everybody kind of predicted this like big recession and, maybe it'll happen or maybe it won't. But it does feel like COVID just trained us all so much from being at home. I know this, like I have like an office to go to now. I've never had that in my entire life, but like I spent so much time at this house and I got so many door dashes, right? That now I just want to go to a restaurant and sure. I could watch the Taylor Swift video that's out on Netflix or whatever, but like I'm going to things. Is that what you're seeing too, Adam, where people are just, man, they're starving to go out and do stuff?
Absolutely. And I hate bringing up COVID because it was such a difficult time. But at that time, you saw some bands and some acts try to do the virtual shows and experiences, and it served its purpose at the time. But once we were able to open the doors back up, you're right. I mean, people wanted to get back out and be at events again. And, I know the debate about college football Saturdays and people would rather sit at home and the long TV timeouts and they'd rather watch it at home. But there's still nothing like the live experience and being in the stadium last Saturday night up in Ames with the fireworks. And, so getting out and doing things live and seeing experiences that you wouldn't if you're at home. I think people were ready for that and continue to flock to facilities like this.
All right, so Disney on Ice, real quick. We're also doing a giveaway with that. If you go to iowaeverywhere.com and you can enter the contest. So it's a pair of tickets. You're also going to get that. Oh, wait a minute. I was reading the Chase Rice one. No, we are giving away a family pack of tickets, 4 tickets. No hotel room for Disney on Ice, but you can get a 4-pack of tickets at iowaeverywhere.com. Go on and enter that today. Again, we will tweet out these links for you guys as well, put them on Facebook and do all that good stuff so you don't necessarily have to go searching for it. So I guess to kind of wrap things up here with you gentlemen, and we'll be back next week as well. We're going to be doing this. Looking forward. What do we want to get out of this? Because I think what I understand too, Adam, is what I've always loved about my conversations with you, Chris, is that you guys aren't just about, hey, get to Wells Fargo Arena. Of course, we want to do that, but we're wanting to promote entertainment in the entire city of Des Moines, because when that's healthy, it makes your business healthy, and hopefully it's going to make our business healthy as we're doing our best coming forward in 2024 here at Iowa Everywhere to go beyond sports. We brought on a meteorologist, right? We're currently still in the building phase, but Chris, give me your approach to that. You've explained it very well before, but this isn't just about what you guys do. We're wanting to make the entire scene in Des Moines healthy.
There's no doubt about it. And look, that really is important to us. I mean, you take a look at Vibrant Music Hall out in Waukee that just opened. They just had their first show last Sunday. Haley Biancalana, who used to be our director of events here for a number of years, now is running that venue out there. I was lucky enough to go out for one of the grand opening events before they actually opened. And man, it is amazing. It is Live Nation owned and operated. It's a beautiful venue. Their capacity gets up to about 3,500 seats. And Chris, if you ask me, we don't really have a good venue of that size, right? Like that's not competing with Wells Fargo Arena. The Civic Center is a completely different operation. Their thing more is Broadway and some other events, and that's a different type of a venue. But we got this new music venue in town, and Live Nation's the biggest concert promoter in the world, so they're going to be busy. Waukee, what a great spot, right? I mean, it's only 15 minutes from downtown, and that area out there is growing, and I just think it's awesome. I mean, Live Nation's one of our strongest partners in Wells Fargo Arena in terms of bringing shows in, and then you add on top of that Sam Summers and First Fleet Concerts, owns and operates Woolies, and he books Waterworks and the festivals and all that kind of stuff. He's partnering with Live Nation now. Chris, I can't tell you how much that matters in terms of just national recognition that how strong Des Moines is, right? Whether it be a festival or a show at Wells Fargo Arena, the State Fair, Waterworks, it goes on and on and on. And now you add Vibrant Music Hall into the mix. I think it's great. I really do. I think we're a different size than most of those other places that I mentioned. And I think it's great. I don't think there's any competition there. And I just think it raises our profile, which is awesome.
Yeah. And the NCAA tournament has done that on the sports world. And you guys worked really hard for a long time to get that. I actually think it's a big deal that NASCAR is finally bringing its top series out to Newton. And we talk about all these entertainment things that we have. Adam, it feels even different than when I started doing these things with you guys on KXNO back in the day, like where the conversation there was, man, we hope we can get these things, to now it's, wow, look at all these things going on around us. And that's really a compliment to our city.
It is, the city's very supportive, and it can make our jobs harder because there's more things to compete with, whether you're trying to book something or whether you're trying to sell tickets. I mean, last week there were 6 or 7 different events going on sale the same day in the city. We had 2 different shows with Cat Williams and Cody Johnson, and then you had Vibrant Music Hall going on sale with 2 shows. And we haven't even mentioned Val Air, which is reopening here soon, and they just went on sale with a show. So that just talks about people want to come to Des Moines and put shows on because we sell tickets and we support it. And the community, we'll call Sam and ask an opinion on an artist that we're looking to book because he might have had it at a festival or one of his places. And, there really is a good community to it. And that's what we want to bring to this podcast. We want to be able to tell those stories of how did the Garth Brooks show come together, and everywhere from announcing and going on sale to how you pulled off a doubleheader at night with a concert. And, what can we talk about from the NCAA basketball perspective and how we worked with Catch Des Moines, and, how are we working with our venue in Coralville at Extreme Arena. So there's a lot of stories to tell, even down to why do we do digital tickets and what about the secondary ticket market?
Yeah, we want to know all this.
Those are the stories that we want to be able to share and just speak about and make sure everybody really understands it from people that are going through it every day.
Two things. The Extreme Arena is phenomenal, by the way. Like that place is, I like to go to state volleyball and just sit for a couple hours every year, and that place is incredible. Two, Cody Johnson. Now that's my kind of country, boys.
That's why I brought it up. I had a feeling you'd be calling that real country instead of that other stuff you talked about.
That's my straight out of the rodeo. Just wheel him on into Wells Fargo. We need to coincide him with the rodeo when it comes back in January. Is it usually in January, right?
Yep, 12th and 13th.
Yeah, I love it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you both. This is going to be fun. This is just the start. Matt Van Winkle is going to help us out a lot with this as well. To be honest, Matt is much more polished when it comes to the musicians compared to me. But I'll be around for a lot of this stuff too. I know we got WWE coming, and I think we're going to do a promotion with that as well. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it as always. All right.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Chris. We appreciate it.
Adam Flack and Chris Connolly. Again, go and check out our Iowa Everywhere Twitter feed, and we're going to send out some links to those promotions that you'll be able to win tickets to Old Dominion with Chase Rice. And also the Disney on Ice tickets. My wife was looking at them last night. They're going fast. So you may want to get into our competition, or not our competition, but our contest to win some of those for your family as well. All right, for Chris Connolly, for Adam Flack, Matt Van Winkle producing the show. Subscribe and follow us everywhere on social media at Iowa Everywhere. I'm Chris Williams saying so long. Enjoy your college football